Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to get you a water, and I was in line, so I got you Gatorade. And there's M&Ms if you guys want some M&Ms or gum.
You could do a trick to land there, maybe.
I bet you could land in it anyway, still. Seems like it. Maybe it's because I have soft wheels, I'm not sure.
That'd be sick to do a trick and land in it anyway.
I know.
Because it's not skate stop. You can like, does anyone skate it, you think?
I don't know, I don't feel like people do. Oh! Shit. Thought I could roll away.
It's my board. You better not break it.
Oh, it fucking hurts. Oh well. Yeah, you can't, that kitty litter doesn't let you land in it. Damn, dude.
We used to skate that thing every single day. Like, we'd take the BART from Walnut Creek straight to Hubba, and we'd like buy a boombox and bring a fucking whatever mixtape, and just push play and just skate that thing like all day, smoke weed. We didn't go there with cameras, you know?
You just go to session it?
We'd go there every single day, seriously. The thing is, like, he didn't go into skateboarding like, I'm gonna be a pro, I'm gonna get sponsored, I'm gonna make this tape and I'm sending it to this guy and they're gonna give me free shit. It just happened, you know? And if it didn't happen, he would be doing like, he'd be working for the city, he'd be working for the park, he'd be doing a normal job, just living, you know? Now he's one of the best skateboarders ever, you know?
That's a make. I don't care. I think that's a make.
We'll run the photo. Did you get the photo?
Yeah. Yeah, it's already, I'm sending it out virally.
Those rocks. Fuck. Alright, let's go.
What's up? Welcome back to the show. This week's about Brian Anderson. Brian's probably a little bit different than some pro skaters in that he's worked in his life full-time jobs as like a cook and all these different things. So I think he's one of those skaters that really appreciates probably being pro because he knows what he has to go back to if he doesn't skate. The first video I remember him in was the Welcome to Hell toy machine video. He had like shaved head, he was this big beastly guy. He's got a lot of pop. He's like really gnarly. My favorite trick Brian Anderson does is 360 flips. You know, I kind of wanted to do this episode to kind of get an insight into who he is as a person. So after the Beauty and the Beast tour, I went up to San Francisco to meet up with him and kind of see what his life's like. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to get in his head. He seems like a really like intriguing subject for the show. And so this is it, the Brian Anderson episode. Hope you like it.
Okay, what can I get for you?
Yeah, I want to get the Western omelet, please.
Okay, white wheat or rye?
Wheat, please.
Okay.
And can I have does that come with home fries?
It does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I add bacon to the omelet?
Inside it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you come back to Groton a lot?
Yeah, I come back like almost every weekend. It's funny, this place is all remodeled. It's kind of like, it looks good, but it's not the same. Me and Brian used to come here all the time, late night, you know, just get coffees sometimes and then get fired up and go on late night missions and stuff, skating or coming back from like a punk rock show. This is where all the freaks would hang out late night, so it was fun.
Very much.
I met Brian, I think he might have been like 11 or 12. And I remember one day we were skating my friend Jason's half pipe, and these two kids just kind of walked up the driveway with their knee pads around their ankles, you know? And it was Brian and his friend Joe. Brian just jumped right on the ramp and started doing everything. Like, we were pretty amazed.
I probably met Donnie when I was in like 6th grade or 7th grade or something like that. I was on Donnie and Jason's team, Team 911, and they made me do all these different slappies in order to get on. They're like, all right, you gotta do backside to fakie, and you got, you know, whatever, and a nollie smith, and I did all these things, and they let me ride for Team 911. And you get the little sticker that's the 911 emergency call that parents put on their home phone. and you put it right underneath your front truck. So I was psyched, dude.
So there's a monument right here on the right-hand side. We used to skate it all the time, and it's like a Vietnam memorial or something. See those little slants right there? Yeah. So we used to skate those all the time. The veterans would come by and be like ready to murder us for like skating a monument that represented these lives that have been lost fighting this war. I guess it is pretty disrespectful, but when you're young, you don't comprehend it. But Brian's house is over here. This is it. Yeah, that's the house right there, the gray one. Brian's room at one point was in those 3 windows on the top. I remember like ollieing down those 2 stairs all the time, like when I'd come hang with Brian. So this little side street, we had like all these little ramps and boxes and little rails and stuff. And Brian would just kind of keep them underneath this weeping willow tree, and we'd just drag them out. But Brian's parents were like super, super mellow and super nice. I think Brian's parents were like maybe somewhat strict with his older siblings, but by the time, you know, Brian was a teenager, like they were probably like, you know?
The whole story is, I think my art teacher in high school was telling me that if you draw like if you do a portrait, you know, and you can check it in the mirror, and if it still looks proportionate, then like you did all right or whatever, it'll help your art. And then so I realized that's a way to watch my favorite, because I'm regular footed, so I can watch all my favorite goofy footers skate regular footed. So I can you can put your favorite skater on TV, and then you chill out here in the mirror, and you can like see your favorite skater like skate the switch, or you know, the opposite footed. It's pretty cool. So this is the only ghetto ass mirror I have. Look, it's regular footed Heath. This is so tight. Whoa, dude, it's so cool, man.
He's just always had this like artistic approach as opposed to athletic approach. And that's the difference between certain like amazing talented skaters, you know? I feel like maybe I have an athletic edge, you know, but like Brian is just, he's always got his flow on, man, you know? Even when he's just like getting warmed up and stuff. When he was a kid, it was all about like loose trucks and slapping curbs and just cruising and just his own world, man. Like that's the way it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? It's like you can watch the videos and get things out of the skate videos, and a lot of the kids kind of mimic the skate videos. Like Brian kind of like took like, I feel like he was smart enough to take a little bit from all the videos that he liked and incorporate that into like his own little melting pot or whatever, you know?
You know, just doing it, man. Like, needed a change in life, so here I am in New York City, Soho. Lights, cameras, action. The early 90s, whenever that was, or mid 90s, late 90s, somewhere in the 90s it all began. And I started hanging around with Jamie Thomas, got on Toy Machine, then a little group kind of started to form, you know? It was like S.O.T.Y, me, Jamie, Panama Dan, and Ed Templeton, of course, and DONNY BARLEY, and I think that was kind of like the main clique right there. You know, all of a sudden, you know, we're in our early 20s, and I'm in California, and I'm getting hooked up, and it's unbelievable. And then coming home and telling Brian about the success that I found and begging him to come out west to give it a shot, because if anybody could have made it, like, Brian could have done it all day, any day. DONNY BARLEY was like, oh man, you guys gotta meet my homie Brian. He's crazy. He's like this crazy skater. He's insane. And we're all like, yeah, you know, you always hear that, you know. It's like everybody got their homie from back in the day that's a crazy good skater, you know. And so he was talking about him for a while, and then one day he's like, oh, my friend Brian's in town, BA, you know.
We were on a filming trip during the Welcome to Hell days. I think Donnie gets off the phone with somebody and says, hey, my friend back from Groton, Connecticut in town. Is it cool if you come skate with us today?
I called them from Huntington Beach, like me and Ed and MUSKA and Jamie are gonna come up to Frisco to film, and you have to. You have to get to San Francisco. I will pick you up. I'll pay you back for your bus ticket. I don't, anything. I just begged, and I had already spent like 6 hours in the van telling these guys, when we get to Frisco, my friend Brian's gonna come with us. You guys are gonna trip your balls off. This kid's the best skater ever, ever. And like, it's so corny thinking back, but I think I did say something like, hey man, like, if you really wanna make something, like, now's the day. I just didn't know if this opportunity was gonna come around again,
I wasn't concerned with fanning out on them or nothing. I didn't even know who Jamie Thomas was. Ed Templeton was like my idol when I was little. So Jamie Thomas was news to me, and Chad MUSKA, I didn't know who he was either, and he wasn't the MUSKA yet.
We went skating, and all of a sudden I was like, dang, this dude's doing some crazy tricks. He got like ill steez, and he's like messing around. He's just like rolling, just does like a 540 flip on flat ground or something like out of nowhere, and you're just like, what the hell, like, and then all of a sudden he just started going around with us, and he just started busting and busting and busting and like crazy ass shit that like none of the pros were doing, and we're like, this dude's not even sponsored. He hadn't even skated in 2 years, and all of a sudden I was just like so psyched on him. I remember being just like, this guy's insane. Like he can do any trick he wants to do, anything.
He starts killing it. Real sketchy though. You could tell he doesn't skate all the time, but he like ollied over the rail to board slide, and it's in the video. He board slides down the long rail and comes off, and he's just flapping all over the place when he does it. And I think at that moment we were just all like, here's the whole Toy Machine team. We're supposed to be these like dudes who slaughter stuff, and like everyone gets to these rails and no one's feeling anything. We're all being wusses, and then this dude from Connecticut just manhandles this rail.
I think he did it first try, or he slid half of it first try. And they were just like, what the fuck? Chad's like, Jamie, go get the camera, and Jamie's like running into the van, like, and going up to Brian, like, hey Brian, can you do this again?
I didn't know that it was okay to refilm something, like I would land it and be like, I landed it, I didn't know that it probably looked kind of gross and I should do a smoother one, MUSKA got hurt that day we skated in San Francisco. He tried to tail slide the Cardiel ledge, and I don't know if it ever came out, but he slammed really hard. He was in the van, I remember, after that. He was like, I just want to fucking smoke this bowl. And I was like, whoa, this dude's bumming. I passed the lighter through the window to Chad, like, here, dude, I know you need to get stoned right now. You're so hurt.
Right when Chad and Brian connected, I knew that was half the battle, And then it was just a matter of convincing Ed and Jamie, like, to put him on,
It took everybody else a minute. Everybody's kind of like, I don't know, like, and me and Donnie were like, yeah. And I remember Ed was like, oh my God, this guy's dope. I think Ed liked him because he was like tall and lanky, kind of like Ed was, you know what I mean? So Ed was like, oh, I like this guy, you know what I mean? Like,
I think all of us, like, especially me and MUSKA, because MUSKA's there, and we're all like, holy crap, this guy's amazing, let's put him on the team. And Jamie was just like, no way. What are you guys thinking? I don't know what Jamie will say to this, but at the time he was not for it. Obviously, we're not just gonna like throw a guy on right there on the spot. So, we told him, hey, we're really interested in you in a real way. Do you have any footage?
And those guys said, make me a sponsor me tape. So I skated around in SAC and got some cool stuff with Mike Rafter. And then we went to SF one day. I was like, I want a frontside, blindside, hub a hideout. I think I can do it, And I did it. So we put that in the sponsor me tape. I bicked my head. So Jamie and Ed, I think once they saw the frontside, blindside with the bicked head, they're like, oh, this dude looks like he just got out of fucking jail, like, cool.
And we were just like blown away that we were getting like a sponsor me video from a dude, Donnie's bro from Connecticut, and he just bicked his head and front blunts have a hideout, which was just completely ludicrous. And I mean, it was like chill giving, like all of us, the team watching, like, holy fuck. And that just like cemented him on. I think Jamie was instantly like definitely on. Chad and I were already like, we love the guy. And I think everybody else on the team was just like, yeah, no brainer, like front blunt, hub a hideout, like a man. yeah, put him on. That was definitely the one like pushover thing that thing that he did, and he just looked so badass doing it.
In the Toy Machine video, when he shrinks Hubba with that look, I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Like 6'9".
He took Hubba down a foot or two with those fucking.
We're just staring at it, yeah.
Yeah, shaved head.
Yeah,
Yeah, just looking so beast rolling up to it.
Comes around and he just stares right at it, and he's just like, oh, it got scared and was all. I better shrink a little.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck me up. Brian Anderson. He's from Connecticut. We grew up skateboarding together. He's the best. You know, all of a sudden he had a part in the video, and he went from like literally overnight from being like nobody to like giving up skateboarding to like coming in on a random visit. He became sponsored and started off to his career like pretty much like that, unexpectedly, you know what I mean? So I think that was really, really cool to see that all go down, you know?
Jamie Thomas and Templeton called me and they're like, all right, well, we're gonna make this video soon and we want you to fly to San Diego and work on it. So I said, okay, great. I think that was the first time I ever flew on an airplane. And I was taking off in Sacto, like, whoa, my head, this feels crazy. And I landed in San Diego. Jamie picked me up in his Honda Passport and he said, this is ELISSA's steamer.
I think I remember that day too, is like,
I didn't know that you were going to be on Toy Machine, and I didn't know much about it either. And I didn't know anything about you. I didn't know.
I think I had seen your footage in the computer maybe.
Okay. And then we just stayed at Jamie's house in Pacific Beach and just went out filming.
I have this bad reaction that when somebody lands a trick, I'll scream, right? And I always happen to be around the camera for some reason. And I remember that kinker and
That's my last trick, and you went, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, I always thought that was a kid yelling, like a little kid was yelling.
I was a little kid. Not really. I was fucking 20-year-old.
It was awesome because I was psyched to just be skating with people that ripped constantly all day long.
I remember the process for filming for Welcome to Hell. It was a crazy process, man. So every once in a while I got to stay on Jamie's couch, and that was a privilege and a curse at the same time, I guess, because like I'd wake up at like 6 in the morning to Jamie blasting Slayer and like getting a pan and like a tin and like banging them to my head, and like wake up with this like dick on my shoulder or something like that crazy. Like Jamie was crazy, man. I woke up to a lot of crazy shit at Jamie's house. Jamie had an agenda all the time. Like he was like, you know, okay, we're gonna wake up today and I got this new angle I'm thinking about filming of you on the handrail and you're gonna bust it today.
In my part, there's a line. Jamie's like, you should half cab up this curb, and then, but he didn't command me. He's like, Brian, maybe think about, but it's helpful. I like that about Jamie, you know?
Brian started filming like the illest video part that was like competing with all of our parts, and we were like, whoa, shit, like this dude's killing it. Like we had to step up our game to like keep up with his part, I remember, you know?
For sure, when that name came on the screen, the collective skate audience must have been like, Brian Anderson, what? Like, but then he just proceeded to just slaughter everything and skate super big hubbas and had this kind of groove. You can see it in his lines. He like does a trick and does a little couple swerves, and he's just got this like jazz to the way he skated in that video, and all of us were just super psyched on it.
And it was like, you know, the video's coming out, we gotta finish it, you know, and we worked so hard in the video. At the premiere, it kind of all just fell apart that night, you know.
Sure enough, like Jamie tried his ass off, but for some reason the computer crashed.
This was the reason, and that was the reason, and people were drinking, and I was drinking, and you know, it was like a lot of the kids were upset, you know what I mean? The kids wanted the video, so it was like a lot of crazy energy that all came out in one night, kind of, you know, and I quit the team, they kind of put me back on, then I quit again, and then they kicked me off, and it was like, we were like, you know, it was like this whole thing, and it just was time for me to move on.
The video was supposed to be Chad, I think was supposed to have the last part. Once Chad was gone, I think we went back in and rearranged it. And so we hit the road and we brought the video with us, and every demo we'd show up and get out of the van and, you know, try to rip as hard as we could for the kids. And then usually we'd end up back in like the skate shop and the kids would just like watch the video, and it was really, really nice to see the reception of the video. It was so positive. Kids would watch it and just walk out of the skate shop speechless.
I didn't know how gnarly like people were gonna look at Welcome to Hell, you know? And at that time in skateboarding, you know, obviously after amazing Plan B videos and all that, I feel like maybe there wasn't anything huge besides an Eastern exposure or something. So I think Jamie blew a lot of kids' minds with Welcome to Hell, you know?
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. You know what I mean? I had no idea it was gonna be so heavy of a video. You know, I just saw, like, because the Toy Machine video, I had never even seen a Toy Machine video before.
After that video came out, because people didn't know who I was, I went on this tour and I had an easy time doing demos. Because they were watching Jamie and Ed and Maldonado and S.O.T.Y, you know? So I would just kind of skate around, and that introduced me to doing demos, you know? Because otherwise I probably would have been like, this is weird.
The rad times about that era for me was just tour as a general. It was just like some of the funnest tours ever. For me, shooting photos, I guess is what I'm saying. Like I was, you know, documenting this whole, like, just those guys, just the team, I guess. And I guess you can kind of equate it to, some people have this, like, I was the high school captain of the football team and the king of the prom or something. And they lived their whole life looking back on those one achievements in high school. It's like, for me, that era is like one of those things I look back on and just be like, man, those were the best times ever. Those are the times of our lives. I mean, that was kind of like right before that era where it was like real important to be filming all the time. So, you know, demos and fun were the main focus, not let's go, you know, use every spare minute at a spot and trying to get footage. It was literally like, let's go buy a raft and go rafting and for the hell of it, or eat good food, skate spots when you feel like it, show up at the demo and kill it, that kind of stuff.
Skating for Ed was great. You know, Ed never messed with you. We could smoke all the weed we wanted and drink beer, and that was fine, you know, because he knew we were all down to skate and we all would wake up and go do the best demo we could.
Like, friends are friends, right? But it's almost like you form a different and special bond with, like, a teammate or somebody that you travel with all the time for, you know?
When we were, like, partying and stuff, you know, I was kind of her personal bodyguard.
Yeah. Where were we before we came here, Donnie? I still gotta make a book of, like, people's stories of dragging me home or something, but yeah, he's protected me a lot.
Tell me about that.
I love protecting her.
Like?
Oh, just like, get in between some angry person and me, or to carry me home, or find me on the side of the road or something.
Well, sometimes somebody would be saying some inappropriate things.
Inappropriate, that's the word.
Yeah, just like, come on. And I'm not a fighter, but I have a lot of sisters, so I'm like, I feel this need to protect her.
Yeah.
This one was just funny because ELISSA had drinking way too much that night before and was just completely fucked in the morning. She had already barfed there on the curb right where she's sitting, and Mike had some porn mag, and it's just funny. I wanted to kind of get a shot of like the stuff ELISSA has to put up with driving on tour with a bunch of guys, like constant porn mags everywhere, and, you know, girls walking by the van definitely get commented on in pretty rude ways, and obviously ELISSA just like laughs at all that stuff and thinks it's funny.
It really wasn't difficult. It was kind of like the funnest thing ever because, I mean, I had to skate all the time in order to get into the position to go on tour, so therefore all I hung out with was guys all day, every day. So it was just like the same thing, you know what I mean? It was just like switching from one pack of wolves to another pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Brian's great, man. I had to get him to come out here. Like, he usually denies me for like most everything, you know?
When we were filming this, he'd be like, oh, I'm super busy, but okay, let's just try to make it work. Then I'd be like, so what do you have to do you're so busy today? Oh, I gotta go to the grocery store, and it was like really weird, like really like nothing.
Stuff that you could just do in 2 seconds. And you know he lives right next to the grocery store, right?
Yeah, that's what he do. He's right next to the Safeway. He was.
Dude, he could hop his back fence and be in, literally he's in the Safeway. So he doesn't use the go in the grocery store one on me because I'll call him out in a second, you know. But yeah, he'll whip out some fucked up excuses, man.
Cool.
I met Brian in 1997. And then we went on this Europe trip. It was Donnie, Barley, me, Brian, and Josh Beagle.
Brian and Brad like totally were like instant best friends. And I think they've just been like homies ever since, you know, like just weird personalities that kind of click for whatever reason.
So then Jump Off the Building was the next video?
Oh, that's right, yeah, jump off a building.
Was Donnie Barley in that, or he already left?
Nope, Donnie left. He just didn't jive with Ed for a little bit there.
Jump Off a Building era was kind of like a great era, but also a strange one at the same time. Jamie had departed to do Zero on his own. Up until that point, Jamie, you know, took Toy Machine from when he got on to obviously Welcome to Hell, and that whole era was a lot of Jamie influence. Me being lazy and having someone who was super eager to like make the team rad and do all this, make the video awesome. I was just like, that's great, you know, do that. So when he left, it was like, oh, it's back to me. I got to do this up to the same standard that we just set. So without Jamie, it was kind of like independent contractor style. Everybody, you know, I expected the team to go out and film their own stuff, like go out and film, get me the footage. And that was that era.
Skating was just so easy to go film then, you know. I was going out with Brad and Morford every day, and Brad would film me. Brad filmed tons of my tricks in that video.
Dude, he did this gnarly tail slide down this hobo ledge. I videoed it. That stood out, only because I was behind the lens. I really only pay attention to stuff that involves myself.
At one point, you know, the pressure starts coming. It's like, you know, hey, we want you to do this and that. We want you to get a photo for an ad, or we want, you know, there's another video we're working on. Let's film. And if your main focus is just like, I could just as soon be a chef than skateboard, then obviously you're not going to give your sponsor exactly what you want. So I remember like just philosophizing with him, saying something like, you know, you can do all that stuff. You can still become a chef if you want, but you have this talent at skateboarding, and it's like, you can just do this for a couple years and potentially make a lot of money. And I think I just remember, I feel like he just switched in his head. He just decided, yeah, I'm just gonna slaughter skateboarding, and just easily did it. He just won the MUSKA contests when he wanted to, and the world, you know, the world championship, and won it back to back, I think, and started just killing contests and making big contest money, and, you know, pretty much put himself on the map just by deciding to.
How'd you find out that you were going to be Skater of the Year?
Well, Gabe said he wanted to work on an article with me to get me shooting photos for it. And then towards the end of the year, I kind of realized what those photos were probably for, you know? I think around November, it was like somebody told me, or, oh, and then I had to shoot the cover, you know? So I knew. The cover was me in a chair with like a cigar and like a fake Toy Machine diamond medallion. There's like wheels everywhere and trucks. It was supposed to look like a No Limit album cover, basically.
When he got Skater of the Year, it was pretty cool.
I remember that. I went to that party. I remember there was like Donnie and Maldonado and all these people.
Yeah. All I remember is like, yeah, I saw him for a while, we hung out, and then I guess I had his check, you know, they gave those guys the big checks, you know, so I was in charge of his check, and like somebody responsible, like Ed or somebody was in charge of the trophy, I think. Brian was just in charge of blacking out.
During the Skater of the Year, I'm filming, shooting photos for Skater of the Year. Mike Carroll calls me and is like, hey dude, I heard you were bummed on Toy Machine. I just wanted you to know we could help you out over here at Girl. I'm like, wow, man, that's so nice. I was blown away. And I just said, no, man, I'm not doing it. You know, so I didn't do it, obviously, and I stayed. But I was really sick of Toy Machine, and I knew dudes were over it. You know, we went on a tour, and like Maldonado was bummed, Kerry was bummed on Ed. At the end of that, I called Rick, and I was like, hey, dude, I was wondering if that thing that Mike said, that offer is still there, because I'm kind of over this thing. And Rick was very concerned. He said, what about Ed Templeton, dude? Like, I don't want to be that guy that takes you from Ed. And I was like, well, dude, I'll deal with Ed, you know, like I care about him, I love him, but this is my progression in life.
Kerry left, Bam left, Mike left, ELISSA left. So Brian's call was, I'm gonna quit because we have to rebuild Toy Machine from where we are, and I don't want to do that. But, you know, what am I gonna do? I based all my relationships with the riders on the team on a friendship. So none of these quittings was like me flipping out or being pissed at anybody. It was always just like, okay, are you sure? okay, go for it, you know, what can I do? It was sad. I mean, for sure, I was fully bumming. I mean, I've had these periods where people have quit. You know, it leaves me no choice but to try to like get in this rebuild mode and try to be optimistic. But I mean, I can't lie when I say there's like tearful nights when that stuff happens, and I'm, you know, self-doubt comes into the picture. Am I blowing it somehow? Am I not making Toy Machine what it can be? Is Girl that much better? What, you know, how do we run stuff that makes everyone want to quit? I don't know. I just start freaking out, and I feel good about it just on the fact that I base it on friendship, and that I care about Brian's career more than I care about my Toy Machine business, you know? So if he's going to be happy, then I'm happy. Brian went on to Girl and continued his destruction, basically, without Toy Machine.
Me and Jake Phelps found this on the river in China, in Beijing, I think. Wait, is Beijing the one where they cut down all the forest and now it's really windy there? Right?
I don't know.
What's the other major city there?
Beijing, Shanghai.
Shanghai. What's the one with the river going through it and everything?
Shanghai's got the spots.
Right.
Jerry knows everything about China.
Just anything else you want to know about China, you could just ask me.
So I'll grab my board. This is the first in the quiver. I'm really proud of my quiver lately. We screwed my shoes in here. And I thought I was going to be able to board slide a handrail with them on. Like, just roller skate up and, you know, like, I'm regular footed, so I thought I could front board a real handrail. What I did was I was actually standing on the handrail, and I had Frank over, like, he held me up and I bounced on the rail. And then he ran away and I jumped off the handrail into the air and took the picture. It was pretty scary, actually. This is one board right now. This is a tapered tail. It's got a really good tail for 360 flips. So I call this, that's my 3-flip board. I'll ride my board, I'll ride my own pro board, but sometimes I'll put some stickers kind of close to my name or almost over it. I've done that before, and then there's other times where I'm like, what the hell, man, why? I should ride my board, you know? This board totally sucks to skate, but I put it together recently. It's a Steve Alba, obviously. I spent a lot of time on the sticker job on the top. Probably has some serious Buddha involved with that one. Yeah, Eiffel for Zaggin, man. I forgot all about Eiffel for Zaggin.
What's Eiffel for Zaggin?
I think it's an NWA record. It's Niggas for Life backwards. This is my real Steve Olson. And that's it. This one's really fun. So I got my quiver is up to, these don't count. Wait, 7. It's pretty cool. And I skate them all week long. It's sick.
What skaters are out now, or that you know that it really inspire you?
Well, my favorite skater is probably Nick Trapasso, and you know, my all-time favorite skater ever is Ben Schroeder, and he inspired me. You know, even like the guys in my neighborhood I grew up with were always like, man, Schroeder, that guy's just kind of a beast, you know. And I think as I got older, I got taller, and so when I actually see him live now, I'm like, whoa, I get it. That's why I understand what he does, because it's like he's bigger than me for sure, but he's pretty oafy, and it's like the best. I love it.
What about, you were telling Jake that you didn't read the magazines?
Oh yeah, just a long time ago. It was just like, well, I'll be 33 this summer, so it must have been 3 years ago or something. I don't remember the situation. I just said to him, like, I was like, he asked me something, and I was like, dude, I'm like 30 years old, man. You know, I don't read the mags, you know. And he just loved that for some reason. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm trying to not look at those things.
You had that same shirt in the Jerry Sue episode.
Yeah. I wear it a lot. You got anything to say about Brian? Can you
encapsulate it?
Yeah.
He's just a good, solid boarder. He's easy on the eyes. I hate to say it, but a lot of people try wicked hard, and they end up missing it. You know, but Brian, like, he comes in the park, he does a full line when he comes in here.
Okay.
What are you gonna make? Possible?
Change it up.
Spice it up a little bit?
Switch, slappy, half cow.
Oh, this is sick. This is my favorite line. Your switch slapping on that wall of doom is gnarly. Watch this. Go get him, B. Trick and I do it. Are you okay? Man, I'm going slow. Black socks and shit. That's hard. Back tail. Oh, here it comes. The 15 seconds. World Cup. Yes, and that's time. Did you see it? 15 seconds. Danielle Bostic. Where's my wine? Fucking bitch.
Is that why you gave him Skater of the Year?
Why I gave him Skater
Or
of the
why
Year?
he won Skater of the Year?
Well, he was Skater of the Year because he's just a solid dude. He reps the mag and people that are good. Well, I mean, it's a pretty illustrious crew. I mean, some people win, some people don't. Chad MUSKA never got it. Fuck.
It's gonna be mad rewarding, son. All right. I was watching like a baseball game, you know, and you see the coach out there and he's like 65 years old. I kind of realized like he's doing that, he's coaching because he loves baseball, obviously. So that made me feel better about the future of skateboarding. Like, well, it wouldn't be strange if I stayed and worked in skateboarding, I guess, you know, because it's something I really like. You know, like how would somebody would like baseball or basketball or... Because sometimes, you know, you think like, dude, the skateboarding thing, like, oh, you see some bozo skating down the street and you're like, oh. But for us, it's different, you know? We really, really like it. And so fuck, I mean, why not? And why I should be proud of that and enjoy that. So it was kind of like something I just told myself, or I had like a realization that everything's okay.
Ta-da!
I like that switch grip, is the one I wanted to do.
Thanks, Pat. It's fun. Thank you, Brian.